And to my left, a man who told me in confidence he's scared of three things: slugs, small spaces, and women being allowed to vote. Little Alex Horne! And next to me, a man who told me that if he sees the pilot of any plane he boards is a woman, he immediately leaves. Because he believes, and I quote, that their concentration spans and motor skills are not suited to the job. And next to me, a man who once told me that he's got no respect for the military, and if any soldier came up to him in public, he could easily have them, because they're all stupid. It's Little Alex Horne! And next to me, a man who told me his father has only ever given him one Christmas present in his life, a beautifully wrapped piece of Welsh slate that had one solitary word engraved upon it. That word? Toad. It's Little Alex Horne!
Hi, Dad. Hello, everyone.
And sitting next to me, a man who recently confided in me that he thinks that the refuse team that collect his bins every week are stupid and don't deserve to be paid. It's Little Alex Horne!
You sound like me.
And next to me, a man who once told me in private that he doesn't really like women because he thinks they've got a bit too chopsy of late. It's Little Alex Horne!
You shouldn't really clap that. You shouldn't really clap it.
No,
don't clap
well out of order, isn't it? A bit chopsy indeed.
OK, well, I apologise that in a private conversation that didn't happen, I called all women chopsy. I also don't know what chopsy means.
You told me it meant unnecessarily talkative. And sitting next to me, a man who confided in me that he sometimes deliberately revs his engine in traffic because it makes him feel like he's in charge of all women. It's Little Alex Horne! And sitting next to me, a man who once privately told me that if it was up to him, Scotland would be physically sawn off from the UK and floated into the North Sea. To quote him, we'll soon find out how much they want independence when all they've got to eat is shortbread. It's Little Alex Horne! And to my left, a man whose wife once told me she keeps a pocket full of treats to reward him when he remembers to do toilet outside. It's Little Alex Horne!
Yep. Hi, guys.
And next to me, a man who whispered his New Year's resolution to me after a few drinks this Christmas. Whether he'll succeed in bringing back the patriarchy, only time will tell. It's Little Alex Horne! Next to me, a man who recently told me he thinks that former heavyweight world champion boxer Anthony Joshua lost his title because of cowardice. And I quote, if I ever meet him at a TV event, I'm going to teach that to dance.
No, I don't remember saying that.
You were adamant. Next to me, a man who once drunkenly confessed that he hasn't bought car tax or insurance since the 90s because he thinks it's an example of big government. It's Little Alex Horne! And next to me, a man who recently confided in me when drunk that before bed each night, his wife puts talcum powder on his rear end and special area in what he described to me as his night-night bot-bot powder party. That's Little Alex Horne! And sitting next to me, a man who once drunkenly told me that when it comes to childcare, he doesn't think his wife Rachel pulls her weight. It's
Might be the worst one, I think.
And next to me, a man who confided in me recently that he thinks all primary school teachers are the scum of the earth. And now for a man sitting next to me who confided in me when he was drunk that when his wife shouts at him, he whispers, "Get lost," under his breath. It's...
Little Alex Horne!
Thank you, Greg.
And next to me, a man who once told me I always put my botty on the potty in case my front water becomes smelly back cake. It's Little Alex Horne! And now for a man who once confided in me that his first French kiss was with his second cousin, Jacob, now a legal underwriter on the Isle of Man. It's a Little Alex Horne! And next to me, a man who told me he doesn't know much about politics, but he thinks that poor people should stop moaning and pull their flipping fingers out. It's Little Alex Horne! And next to me, a man whose job it is to keep track of all the facts and figures. He's been my personal assistant for coming up to 6 years, and yet we have genuinely only socialised together 3 times. His neck is the same width as his head. He chooses to wear plastic slip-on shoes, and he once told me at some point nearly every day, he cries. It's Little Alex Horne! And next to me, a man who drunkenly confessed that until the age of 14, he thought that his penis was an 11th finger to be used for putting stamps onto letters. It's Little Alex Horne! Next to me, a man who makes up tasks in his jacuzzi and says he knows when he's come up with a good one because, and I quote, his bald ferret breaks the surface for air. And next to me, my faithful servant, a man who once told me after a few drinks that he has a separate bank account that his wife doesn't know about. It's Little Alex Horne! And next to me, a man who told me that as a young person, he used to practice kissing on his grandfather's pet carp, Mr. Suckles. It's Little Alex Horne! And next to me, a man who told me in a private moment that having a woman pilot an aeroplane is like putting a squirrel in charge of the peanut farm. It's Little Alex Horne! And now for a man who once confided in me that he considered Welsh people to only be suited to menial work. It's Little Alex Horne!
For more Taskmaster, subscribe now.